Thousands of people across our province have spoken out against the cruel cuts in this budget to our thriving arts and culture sector. From best-selling authors like Rachel Reed to young students across this province who walked out because they will lose access to art in schools, Nova Scotians have been speaking up. The Cultural Federation of Nova Scotia says that this government's budget cuts to the sector will impact 22,000 jobs and $2.6 billion in GDP. My question to the Premier is, what did his budget analysis show the impact to the GDP would be?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Obviously, we see what's happening across the country, deficit budgets in every province, the federal government as well. So difficult times for sure, but I'm very pleased that in Nova Scotia we're still able to invest $19 billion in the services that matter to Nova Scotians, including $66 million invested in the arts. Madam Speaker, we're making significant investments in health care, housing, long-term care. There are more doctors today in this province because of the investments we've made. There are more nurses in this province because of the investments we made. Madam Speaker, we'll continue to do what we can for Nova Scotians.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, but I'm asking what the budget analysis showed before these cuts were made. Tourism revenue exceeded $3.7 billion last year. But instead of working with this vital sector to build more support, the government is breaking the backbone of our tourism sector, our culture. Tyans wasn't even consulted about the closure of the visitor information centres. Wow. The very things that make our province so special are being attacked by this government. From visitor information centres to museums to galleries to theatres, the things that drive our people to rural communities and local businesses. Without this infrastructure, people will suffer. Jobs will be lost. Will the Premier reconsider his attack on our province's culture and our local rural economies?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I don't consider a $66 million investment in a sector to be an attack by any stretch of the imagination. That $66 million investment that we are continuing to make with this budget is up from $50 million, the government's previous, and it was stuck at 50 for almost a decade, Madam Speaker. We are investing. We're doing what we can. We have to remain focused as a government on the services, on health care. Madam Speaker, as a result of the investments that our government has made, there are over 1,000 new long-term care beds open in this province right now to support Nova Scotians. More than 2,000 on the way, Madam Speaker. We're investing in Nova Scotians in every way.
Order. I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I still haven't heard what the budget analysis was. This government has eliminated artists in schools, which brought writers, artists, dancers, theatre, choral training into schools. Every kid who goes to school in Nova Scotia has benefited from these programs, and every child will lose them. Stephanie Domet, a local writer, recently explained what this government so clearly fails to understand. Engagement with arts and culture has been proven in study after study to be protective of physical and mental health and well-being, to improve educational outcomes for students, and to promote and protect social cohesion. Without this engagement, these costs will fall on this government. This government clearly hasn't done the work to understand how far-reaching these cuts are. Will they reverse them?
I ask the honourable member to table that. I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Madam Speaker, we have great respect for the sector. In terms of the school thing, there's art in school. There's art available to students through the school program. I don't want that to stand as being a fact that there's not. There is art available to students. We will continue to make investments in the sector as we have since we came to government. And when we can do more, we've done more. We've done more with additional appropriations to support the sector. And when our economy grows, when there's more, there'll be more for everyone, Madam Speaker. We have great respect for the sector. That's why we're continuing a $66 million investment in that sector.